If there's one thing that's true about me, it's that I like them thick. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Brendon, a Halifax, Nova Scotia-based runner, and let's talk about the Fresh From More version 4. So the Fresh From More version 4 was a shoe that I wasn't gonna actually pick up because I have the New Balance SC trainer, but you know what? This thing was on sale for Black Friday deal, so I had to pick it up because you know what? Like I said, I like them thick and I've been looking for a shoe that I can use for my easy runs. And I figured this would fit the bill just perfectly. But after the first few runs in this shoe, I wasn't sure that it would be really for me, just because this foam is pretty dense and it took a little while for it to open up and get a little bit softer. I went into this expecting it to be really soft and squishy, but that's not what the shoe feels like at all. And we'll talk about that once we get to the midsole section. But just so you know, I did buy this shoe with my own cold hard-earned Canadian Monopoly money. No one sent me this shoe. No one really even knows my name at New Balance. I'm sure if you say, Brendon Camm did a video on your shoe and he's saying all these things, they'd think you were crazy. So no one's telling me what to say, and I'm gonna be brutally honest. With that said, if you wouldn't mind, I'd really appreciate if you could hit that like button. If you enjoy this video, subscribe to the channel if you wanna see more running and weight loss related content. There's gonna be a lot coming up on the channel. So as you can see here, it's pretty darn thick in that midsole, coming in at 34 millimeters in the heel, 30 in the forefoot for a 4 millimeter drop. But to me, the stack height doesn't show the entire picture because the volume of foam in this midsole is monstrous. Monstrous? I don't know how to say the word, but there's just so much of it underfoot, and it really gives a wide landing platform and a lot of inherent stability. Again, we'll talk a bit more about that in the midsole section. But all of that comes at a price, a very weighty, meaty price of 334 grams in my size 10.5 US men's. So it's not a light boy, not a light boy at all. See, just almost fell over, just twirling around in my hand. I'm extremely weird. Honestly, for me, I might be an outsider and people might think I am crazy, but I don't mind a shoe that's meant to be for easy days to be a little bit more beefy if it can deliver on that cush and comfort. And this thing has it in spades. So I did try the Fresh From More version 3, and my biggest complaint with that thing was the upper. So when I was going around and deciding if I was gonna buy this shoe, I was a little bit apprehensive because the upper on the Fresh From More version 3 just wasn't really great. But I'm happy to say that the upper on this thing is vastly improved. The lockdown in this thing is so darn good. I've had no hot spots over my 35 kilometers or just over 20 miles of running in this thing so far. The ankle collar has a little bit of a festive elf hat, but it does a great job at providing a great lockdown. Now I do the runners on all my shoes, but I don't know if I would really need it on this thing because the lockdown has been great. Now, one thing I will say, and just I don't get why they don't do this, they didn't give us a gusseted tongue. Gusseted tongues are like the godsend to running shoes, and I just wish that every shoe would come with one, but I guess they're gonna have to make another version. See, I'm onto something. I think they leave stuff out just so it's an easy update for future iterations. New Balance, I'm on to your pesky habits. Now in terms of the breathability of the upper, it's not fantastic, but it is winter in Canada, so thank you for not being breathable, and thank you for keeping my little footsies warm. Now this Kardashian of a midsole has a lot of great things going for it, namely just the amount of volume of it underfoot, the amount of cush, the amount of stack height, provides so much comfort, so much protection for my legs when I want to go out there for an easy run. This thing is doing it for me. Long-term viewers of the channel will know that I am a slight overpronator, so when this thing has a wide base like it does, it just adds so much inherent stability that really just allows me to have a little bit of extra help and support without having to go for those big old medial posts that you get in traditional stability shoes. Now, like I mentioned, this shoe doesn't feel extremely soft. It's nothing like the ZoomX Invincible where you get that nice squish soft bounce, or the SC Trainer has a very similar thing, but that is a carbon fiber plate and just in another realm of its own. The Fresh From X in the Fresh From More version 4 is very dense. But like I said, after a couple of runs, it opened up a bit, and now I'm getting that nice soft cushion underfoot. Like I said, 35 kilometers in this thing. I've used it strictly for easy runs. And you know what? I will say I have to add one thing. One great thing about this shoe that I think might be overlooked by a lot of people is that in an easy run shoe, I want it to promote me to run slowly. And the Fresh From More version 4 promotes me running slow. There's not a single time when I'm out there running along that I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, pick up the pace in this thing. No, that's not the intention of this shoe. It keeps me running at a very easy pace, keeps me in the ranges that I need to be, and that's why I'm absolutely loving this thing for my easy runs. Now, yeah, I could actually use this for a long run as well, but for that, I actually do think that I'd opt for its big brother, cousin, I don't know, in the SC Trainer, because that does have a little bit more rebound and pep under step, and actually they're quite similarly weighted as well, so something to consider. So, you know what? I guess just gonna buy both the shoes. Yeah, the outsole, here it is. It's fine. I've said many times, I don't like commenting on the outsole unless it's extremely great or extremely bad. This thing does the job. There's a good amount of coverage, so it should protect this midsole, but I actually see literally no wear on this thing, and I've been running on the concrete and on crusher dust paths and treadmill and all types of terrain. No issues. Now, in terms of value, the Fresh No More version 4 comes in at 190 Canadian dollars, I think it was, but got it on a Black Friday sale, like I said, so a little bit cheaper than that for me. And I actually think that for that price, for an easy day shoe like this, you're getting a great deal. So the other shoes in this category, like the Saucony Triumph 20 or the Nike Zoom X Invincible, are over 200 Canadian dollars, priced in US dollars right here. That's the world reserve currency, so I guess I gotta put it up here. I'm sorry, my British friends. You know what, for you, here's the British pounds as well. But comparing it to those shoes, I think this thing is a great value at 190 Canadian dollars or whatever it is in the conversions. So if you're in the market for a shoe that is gonna give you a lot of protection and promote you running slow for your easy days, so it's keeping you in check, this is kind of like your limiter. You're not gonna wanna run fast in it. This is strictly reserved for those slower paced runs. So it's actually not for everyone, honestly. If you're not someone that needs multiple shoes for different use cases, I wouldn't suggest you get the Fresh No More version 4. I don't think it's extremely versatile. For those, I'd actually point you towards something like the ASICS Nova Blast 3 or the Saucony Endorphin Speed or something along those lines that can do the easy things but not gonna actually make you feel like you have to run slower, but it can also pick up the paces for your workouts. The Fresh No More version 4 is strictly an easy day shoe and a darn good one at that. All right, folks, I'm gonna throw it up here to the ASICS Nova Blast number 3 video. Wasn't super impressed by that, didn't hate it, didn't absolutely fall in love with it. It's fine. Here's my thoughts right up here for more details. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any running related content, any weight loss content, any content in the near future. We have a bit of a change of direction coming up on the channel, but it's gonna be exciting.